Another winning day here on the channel yesterday, back to back. We can use it. Not a major blowout day, but we'll take it. NBA action today. I've got a few best bets on the way. Let's get into it. Let's have a day. And I'm excited to talk some action on the hardwood. This is the free three.
I love it, Noble. Noble, I also love your YouTube videos. I watched them while I was gone. That was fire.
But getting paid because yesterday we had a full sweep. Mike going under, that was just icing on the cake. Why are we going to go in such a weak AFC South? Unless we have the NBA Blowout Association.
Bang! Knicks take a 1-point lead with 13.
When you hear the sirens, you know what that means.
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me. Hurt my feelings.
Good morning, my friends. What it is up? It is your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video. I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and make that money. Yesterday was some of those days in college, well, not college betting, and just sports betting, I should say, in general. That sounded kind of iffy, right? You've been betting games all weekend. You've been watching sports nonstop, and then it's like, we have NBA, but it's like, it's not the same as college basketball, right? And then there's women's college basketball, but then it's like, if I'm looking for lines for women's college basketball, am I a degenerate? Right, like that's how I felt yesterday. But overall, we still took plays and we still were able to cash in and have a winning day. And you love to see that. In today's video, guys, I'm going to talk about how we did yesterday. I'm going to break down my 3 favorite plays of the day, and I'm going to do a little bit different. I've got a player prop for you guys, or a player prop parlay, like a builder, like I did yesterday. I've got a NBA money line parlay, or sport, money line parlay, and then I do have one college basketball bet as well for you guys. Yes, I am a degen, so I am going to bet a little bit of the NIT. So we're going to break that down in today's video, okay? So yesterday we did have a 3-2 day. We did have a 2-1 day here on the channel, but officially a 3-2 day with some of the added plays. We dive in, we're chipping away from our hole that we cut ourselves off over the weekend. If we look at our record yesterday, you could see our point parlay, our builder parlay of the day of Luka and Kobe White. We didn't get the plus 100 value, but it was a no sweat bet there. And typically, guys, when I'm giving you guys the money line parlays or the player prop parlay, I have people who DM me sometimes and they ask me, Noble, like, do you just like, you're taking the money line parlay, what about the spread? If I'm taking the money line, most times I like the spread. I just don't want to lay the juice. I just want to play with the money line and just I don't have to sweat out the spread. So like here, Luka's line was 27.5. I took 25. You would have hit. Kobe White's line was like 23.5. Obviously, it would have hit. So do with that information. If you don't like taking the parlays, then take it at the regular line if you want. We took the over in Dallas and Brooklyn. I did not know that Anthony Davis was going to be playing, and it just so happened to help us out, so we're going to take it. We got that done, and then I added a little bit of a split parlay late in the video. These were our official 2 best bets of the day, but I did add a little one with the Dallas Stars and the Nuggets. A lot of people DM me about the Dallas Stars, and they're like, it's the Wild tonight, it's the Wild tonight. I guess it wasn't the Wild. And we also got the Denver wrong, so it doesn't really matter because the parlay got blown. And I did add a college basketball lay yesterday. If you guys tapped into the action and followed me on action, I took Florida Gulf Coast and Cleveland State, little money line parlay at minus 120, middle of the day sweat. It was like a 2 p.m. and a 5 p.m. game. We got it done. So because we hit that bet yesterday, I'm willing to take the NIT today. So that's what's kind of set us up for today's video. So let's dive into the plays for today, guys, real quickly. And on this board, on the NBA, we have a lot of good games. I'll give you guys a few of my leans here as well throughout the video. We've got the Knicks and Mavericks. We've got the Magic and Hornets, Spurs, Pistons, Warriors, and Heat. We don't know if Steph Curry's playing yet for the Warriors, so obviously injury news at this time of year is always a big thing. A few leans I'll give you right now is I actually do lean the Mavericks plus 10.5. I'm going to talk about that bet here in a second. And the reason why I do lean the Mavericks plus 10.5 is because I know they don't have a lot of their star players. I know Anthony Davis is probably not playing tonight on the second half of back-to-back, but the Knicks without Jalen Brunson, have been struggling to score. And if you look at the Mavericks game logs recently, they've been scoring a lot of points. And if they make this a shootout against the Knicks without Jalen Brunson, yes, they still have Karl-Anthony Towns, but Mikal Bridges, you know, he's wishy-washy. Josh Hart, he can give you points when he wants to. So with the Mavericks trying to score a lot of points and keep the games high scoring, that could cause a problem for the Knicks today. And a 10.5 point spread is a lot of points. I also do lean the over as well. The Mavericks have gone over in 5 straight games. So those are just a few trends that have kind of caught my attention as we bet the Mavericks yesterday. But the first best bet of the day that I'm going to be locking in here, guys, is going to be our player prop parlay of the day. And we're going to go Najee Marshall 15 points, and we're going to go LaMelo Ball 20 points. So I was talking about the Mavericks, and one of the people who've had to step up for the Mavericks since Kyrie Irving has gone down, and obviously since they lost Luka Doncic, has been Najee Marshall. He's been stepping up as kind of like the main scorer, truthfully, over the last several weeks. If we look at the game log real quickly for the Dallas Mavericks, you can see that Najee's averaging about 13 points per game. We've got PJ at 15, we've got Clay at 14 and a half, and then Spencer Dinwiddie at 11. So basically they're all around each other from the same perspective of points. But now if we look at the specific game log over the last few weeks for some of these several players, let's scroll down here and let's look at Najee Marshall. His line today is at 17 and a half, and you can see here that he's gone over this number in 9 of the last 10 games. 22 points last night against Brooklyn, 19 the night before against the Pistons, 20 against the Pacers, 21 against the Sixers. So he's gone over this number, including getting 34 against the Suns and 29 against the Grizzlies. You're not putting up those type of numbers if your jump shot's not on, if you're not playing confident basketball. He's averaging 17 attempts per game. We're just asking for 15 points. You can see here he's gone over this number in 10 straight games. If we go a little bit further out of a sample size, 15 games, well, he wasn't really getting into a rhythm here. So this is why I like him right now in this position, because of this recent form that he's in. But look at the change in volume. 8 attempts, 7 attempts, 7 attempts, 11 attempts. Now we're at 23. Now we're at 20. Now we're at 15. So we just need 15 points on a guy who's shooting the ball 15, 20 times per game. I'm not opposed to it. The only reason why I don't want to take the line at 17 and a half is you can see right here that the Knicks have been good against small forwards lately, shutting down guys like Josh Green. You can see Devin Vassell. You can see none of these guys are really up to Najee Marshall, but they're like kind of a role players. Jimmy Butler only had 11 against them. DeMar only had 11 against them. So I don't want to take the exact line, but it's like the question is going to loom, who's going to score for this Mavericks team? And Najee's getting the point attempt. And then another thing, on the second night of a back-to-back, a lot of people are scared to take guys, and I think that's actually when we get typically value on some certain players. And when you look at the game log last night against the Nets, he only played 27 minutes, and he's used to playing 35, 38, 35. He's averaging 33 minutes per game over the last 10 games, but only played 27 last night. So he should be pretty rested. He should be good to go today to get a full workload of 30-plus minutes. 15 points, not asking for too much. And again, I already leaned the over. I already leaned Dallas plus the spread. I like Najee Marshall 15-plus points. Now, the reason why we're going with the second leg here of LaMelo Ball at 20 points, and I'm going to plug this bet in later off the stream. I'm not going to play around with it right now like while I'm talking. I guess I could do it while I'm talking just to, pass the time real quick. Here we go. Najee Marshall. Here we go. And then the second bet is going to be LaMelo Ball. And this is very similar to the read that we had yesterday. We said Luka against the Magic. Why? Because if we go to Fantasy Pros here and we look at what teams have been giving up the most points to point guards over the last 15 games, you can see the Magics are third. If we go to the last 30 games, you can see the Magic are a little bit further down, but they're top 10. The Magic give up points to point guards. We saw Luka score 30-plus last night, and the Magic right now are playing the Hornets. And what team has a better scoring point guard than the Charlotte Hornets? LaMelo Ball, we know what he likes to do. He likes to get buckets. And the reason why the Magic give up so many points to point guards right now is, one, their defensive guard, Jalen Suggs. He's currently not playing. He's injured. He's done for the season. But also, Cole Anthony, the backup point guard, is also injured right now. He's day-to-day. So they're basically on a third-string point guard. But besides that, the way they like to play defensively is they like to push up the line. So essentially, they want to kind of deny the next pass, the shooting guards, the small forwards. And we're talking about NBA defense here, but they still play some defense. So I'm not going to disrespect them that much. But as much as the NBA defense does, they like to play a deny basketball. And that's why you see for the point guards against the Magic, they typically don't get a lot of assists. They typically don't get a lot of rebounds, but they do get a lot of points because they want them facilitating and really want them to be the person scoring the ball. So now when you ask what team is better to have somebody force and funnel to score the ball than the Hornets, I don't know. So for me, LaMelo Ball, he's a guy that I like. We can go look at his game logs recently here in a second, but this is more of a fade on the Magic, also on the second out of a back-to-back. And you can see we can get this at damn near at plus 100 or at plus 100. I got it at round plus 100. So we're going to go lay just one unit here to lock that in. LaMelo Ball, 20-plus points, and Najee Marshall, 15-plus points. That's the first player prop parlay of the day. Our second best bet of the day is going to be in the college basketball slate. I was going to take off my hoodie and rip my chest open to let you guys know, but you probably know what I'm going with. My boy asked me this morning who I'm going to go with between Chattanooga and Bradley. He said, don't be a homer, but you know what? We got to go with the alum, the UTC. I got my mock shirt on. It's game day. Obviously, I wish it was the NCAA tournament, but the NIT is, I guess, the second best thing that we could do. On the road today are the Chattanooga Mocs taking on the Bradley Bears, right? Braves, I should say, minus 3.5 point underdogs are the Chattanooga Mocs. Now, Bradley's a good team. They are. And this game is at home in the NIT, so it is a true home game for Bradley. But if we go to KenPom real quick and we look at Bradley real fast, okay? They lost in the Missouri Valley Championship to Drake, and it wasn't even a close game. They only scored 48 points. They won the first two games of the NIT, winning the first game against North Alabama, and then going on the road against George Mason and picking up the win. Now they're back at home against Chattanooga. So everything right now, I mean, I couldn't tell you and say, let's dive into all the numbers and let's just say, that Bradley's not a good team, because they're not. I mean, they're a good team. 15-5 in conference. They made it to the championship game. You can see they kind of sputtered here in February a little bit, but they're a good team, and they're going to be at home. But the way Chattanooga has been playing recently, and I'm not talking about just recently over the last few weeks. I'm not just saying this because I'm a fan. I'm saying this because I'm somebody who's watched a ton of their games. But even their last game on Saturday against Dayton in the NIT at home, they blew out that Dayton team. They were winning that game by 20-plus points the majority of the game. They won the game by 15. But it's when I look at this right here, in the NIT, to take on a Middle Tennessee State team, which is also an in-state rival for the people who do not know, because I went to school at Chattanooga. So Chattanooga is East Tennessee, and Murfreesboro, Tennessee is about 2 hours, about an hour and a half to 2 hours from Chattanooga. You have to pass through Murfreesboro to get to Nashville, and that's where Middle Tennessee is. So it's close, like proximal. It's not really a rivalry from a sports perspective, but like our students and their students are all we all know each other. It's the region is there. And from a competition and from a recruiting standpoint, if you went to a visit to Chattanooga, you went to a visit to TSU for the most part. But to play this game on the road in the NIT and put forth the effort to win in triple overtime, to me, that tells me that you want to win this thing, that you're serious about winning it. And baiting a team like Dayton, yes, you were at home, but you could have said, you know what, we lost to Dayton. You could have thrown in the towel and said, our season's done. So for me, even though KenPom says there's a 5-point win for Bradley, the line opened up at 5.5. It's been bet down to 3.5. This is a live trigger game because Bradley can go on a run early, get up 10-2. You can get Chattanooga at plus 6.5, plus 7.5. That would be my smash spot, but I will give it out here at plus 3.5. And I'm not just mentioning because of how they played here in the NIT. They lost to Furman in the SoCon semifinal in overtime. It was a very tough loss, and Furman had a great stellar performance from Smith to even beat them, and Chattanooga was missing their best player with an injury. But look at this streak that Chattanooga has gone on from middle January all the way through March. They've been playing some of their best basketball recently, and again, this is a program right now that shows that they want to compete here. I think it can come down to a buzzer beater. I'm not saying they win the game. All I'm saying is that I think at plus 3.5, it's a good number, but if you do have the ability to watch the game live, I would say get your trigger point at plus 6.5, plus 7.5. If they jump out to an early lead, Chattanooga does, then you probably know they're serious. And if you can get them again at plus 3.5, or then at plus value at the money line, then do that. Like, that's kind of how I walk down these games when I don't lock in the number exactly right away. But we're locking in Chattanooga plus 3.5. I like them today. I think because it's just a home game for Bradley, and it is a true home game. It's going to be played at their stadium. We're getting value, but it's basically a pick 'em because you got to think a home court advantage is 2.5, 3 points on the book. So basically, they got this listed as a pick 'em. I like Chattanooga here, buzzer beater type of finish. So that's some college basketball action for you guys. Third and final pick of the day is going to be our cross sport parlay. If you guys haven't been noticing, we've been hitting our hockey plays. I don't like the way Action kind of grades it is a little bit weird. So I'm going to get my assistant to take a look at it, because I only say that we're 1-0 because we've only taken like one singular hockey bet, but we've been putting the money lines in the money line parlays. And I think we're like 5-0 on those things. So for me today, I'm just going to go with the money line parlay. Don't ask me why. I like the Carolina Hurricanes. I looked at the records. The Predators suck on the road. The Hurricanes are good at home. And out of all the teams that are favorites, like the Lightning and the Penguin, and then also the Avs and the Red Wings, I believe that the Hurricane have the best chance of winning. So I'm taking the Hurricanes on the money line here. They're a good team based on record. Couldn't tell you anything about them, but it's been working for me. So I'm going to go with them as a heavy favorite, and then we're going to go to the NBA, and we're going to take in the Orlando Magic. Now, some people, if you don't like betting that way, I get it. I'm not a roll the dice. This is basically playing roulette because, again, I don't know the Hurricane like that. But sometimes too much information can hurt you just as much as no information. So keep that in mind. The fact that I don't know anything, all I'm doing is just reading lines, that's an advantage, and it's been working for me in hockey. So just keep that in mind. This gets us to plus 100, these two teams. Now, I think we're getting some value on the Magic at the money line because they played last night on the second night of a back-to-back. They played at home against the Lakers. They won that game pretty handily. It was a close game kind of there at the end, but they were up for the majority of the game. Then they traveled to now to take on Charlotte. For me, as the Orlando Magic, it's just you guys are 34-38. You're still competitive in the Eastern Conference. Every game matters. You obviously lost several games because you were dealing with a ton of injuries throughout the year. But at this point, their roster is like pretty much set. Like we look at it real quickly here. That's not that game. Let's see, Orlando Magic real quick. Let's go to the game overview. I just want to show you guys the injury report real quick, because when you look at the injury report, Jalen Suggs, he's done for the season. So a key role player is out. Maurice Windsor, he's done for the season as well. Cole Anthony's day-to-day, so you're basically just waiting on him. And then Trevelyan Queen, he wasn't really a player like that. So when you look at it, Corey Joseph, Caldwell Pope, Franz, Paolo, Wendell Carter, like this is the core that you're really going to be running with from here on out for the remainder of the season. You'll trickle in Cole Anthony in there, but at that point, all the other players are basically done for the season. And that's important because like when you're changing rosters and lineups a lot, the continuity, the chemistry, that can get thrown off. But now that they've kind of gone through that injury plague, and we see the type of ball that Wagner's playing, he's probably playing better than Banchero right now, if we're being honest, but we don't have to get into that. Dude's hooping. They're a great 1-2 combination punch. They've got some veteran leadership in Corey Joseph and Caldwell Pope that should help them down the stretch. The fact that they're under 500 means that they still have places to move inside the Eastern Conference. And let's just be honest, the Charlotte Hornets at 18-53, they don't have a whole lot to play for at this point. So the game should mean something to the Orlando Magic, and they've been in decent form. Like I mentioned here, if we look at their recent, let me just zoom out just a little bit so we can find it real quick. Oh yeah, over the last 5 games, they've won 3 of the last 5 games against the Lakers, against the Wizards. That doesn't really give you a lot of confidence, but against the Cavaliers, that should give you confidence on the road. So they've covered the spread in 4 of the last 5 games. So, I mean, I like the way the Magic are playing right now, and they should be able to beat the Hornets. So that's the money line parlay of the day, my friends. And that is it for us today on this episode of The Free 3. I appreciate you guys for tapping in. 3 best bets on this Tuesday card. Baseball is coming up. We're right around the corner. Our money line parlay of the day is the Orlando Magic and the Carolina Hurricanes. That gets you to plus 100. We also going to go with Chattanooga in the NIT at plus 3.5. Again, that is a live trigger kind of game. My trigger would be about 6.5, 7.5 live. I think you should be able to get that. And then we're going to go with our builder parlay of the day, which gets you to almost plus 100 odds. Najee Marshall plus 15 plus points, and then LaMelo Ball 20 plus points right there to tuck us in, guys. That's what we're going with for today. I probably am not going to add too many more plays. I've been giving back a little bit of coin over the last few days, adding plays late that I shouldn't have added. Juju getting hurt last night hurt me. I had her and KD in a parlay. KD went crazy, but she obviously got hurt. I hope she's prayers and hopes to Juju. I hope she's good, man. I just hate to see that. But overall, so I might have like 1 or 2 plays left if like Trent does Surge, I might listen to like a Surge or two. I might listen to, a few people here online and see if I like anything I like. I might add 1 or 2 plays, but we're going to keep it real light because we don't want to give back too much. We've been able to string together 2 winning days, but not like major, like $300-$400 days, but I'll take a $150 day or $200 day here. It still pays the bills, still grows the bankrolls. All right, guys, that's what we're doing here on the channel. We're trying to get to it. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Any picks that you guys like, drop in the comments below. If we sweep the board, I'm going to give away some money. You guys know the vibes here. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It is your boy Noble Living. This is the Free 3. Let's have a day. Let's make some money, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. And Major League Baseball's almost here, guys. So I'll cook up some futures today, and maybe we can look at some baseball futures for tomorrow. All right, guys, let's have a day. Later, gang.